Hi guys, welcome to another video. This time you may well be able to tell where I am for the location. This is not going to be a vlog taking you around what's happening at Auschwitz from Camp 1 and 2. I'm going to tell you about it because I found it insensitive to go and film inside, but I thought I'd get a tribute from the second camp that's in the background and also the first camp. I'll take you through that one too, and that's the only bit of footage I've got. Everything else will be informative. I'll tell you how to get here, how much things cost, what to do, how long things take, etc, etc. So I'll take you through the day, so please do not enjoy the video, but make sure to stay tuned. So I'm going to take you through how we ended up booking, from the booking process to actually going to Auschwitz and what there is to do there. So first up, through booking, we ended up booking the Auschwitz tickets, which was free of charge through the Auschwitz official website. If you just go on their website, have a look and be able to book what you wish. Now we ended up booking for our own self-guided tour, so we didn't have any guides there. They have numerous amounts of guides there in numerous amount of languages, so yeah, feel free to be able to book on that. You may see online too, be able to book tours for Auschwitz through various different companies that'll take you from, well, I imagine anywhere, to be able to go there and book through your private tours and private operators, etc, etc. We didn't do any of that. We ended up making our own way there and also guiding ourselves there. So yeah, you know, you still get to see everything. Now we ended up going on the bus. This was from Krakow bus station, so you just make your way to the bus station, go to the front bit. It's at the back of the train station, so if you go to the back of the train station, which will lead you to the front of the bus station, then they've got a little ticket office there with 3 windows, I think it was, for 3 people on. You can book tickets for your bus journey from there. We went the night before to go and get our bus tickets. We did. It ended up costing one way for 2 adults, costing 30 zloty, which I didn't think was too bad. That's roughly around £6, £6.20, something like that at the time of recording, which one way travelling, I think it's an hour and a half for 2 people, not too bad. Now once you get off the bus, it drops you off in a car park just opposite to where the museum is. You go through onto the museum, they'll do a security check. You're only allowed small bags in. I think they're roughly just like a square bag's all you're allowed in, so don't be taking backpacks. They have luggage area for you to be able to take bags and bigger bags in there, but you won't have them on you. So you go through security, they'll then check your tickets, then you'll walk through. First bit, you get taken around camp number 1, which is Auschwitz I, I think it's known as, which will lead you to the famous sign, which is work will set you free in English translation. From there, you can, on our self-guided tour anyway, we ended up walking around seeing numerous amounts of things. So their living accommodation, I say accommodation, it sounds like staying in a hotel or not, but it takes you through the standard day-to-day life, what it's like there. You get a feel of what it's like there, you get to anticipate everything that is there. You get taken around numerous huts there, so that each labelled with what they are. Numerous amounts of tributes in there, so on for French Jews, there was the Netherlands, there was Belgium, there was obviously Polish, lots more there to be able to pay tribute to. We ended up going to the left first. We ended up walking around a couple of the memorials and museum areas. Very informative in there, very quiet, very respectful, as you would expect in there too. But basically, in the whole camp, it's not that big in size, but there's so much to see, so much to read, so much to go through. Ended up taking us 2 hours, 20 minutes, nearly 2.5 hours in there, and we ended up getting to see numerous amounts of stuff. You get taken through. We ended up seeing, I think it was the first operations of a gas chamber too, which was very sad. You ended up seeing the firewall where they were leaving prisoners out to that had been sentenced to death. You ended up seeing the desk where people were sentenced to death, where people were staying. You ended up seeing vast amounts, I think it was, how many kilograms of hair was it? 19,000 kilograms of hair that was stored on display for you to be able to see. You get to see all of the glasses that people had. This is only what they've found, by the way. There's obviously going to be more cases of it, but there were glasses, the luggage cases, taking you through everything. So everything's just so surreal there. It's very emotional. It's not something I'd recommend. There were people walking around with like small children and that. I'm not too sure if they'll be old enough maybe to understand it. They might be, but they might not be old enough to be able to understand the sensitivity of what's on display. So, you know, just want to bear in mind there was one little memorial in there that was recommended for under the age, for people over the age of 15, sorry, which was basically just taking you through some of the more sensitive paintworks that was on exhibition. I think it was a temporary exhibition. I'm not too sure, it might be a permanent one, but I think it was a temporary one, which was just taking you through all of the numerous emotional artwork of people that have been told stories and things like that. But very nice, very beautiful to see. Even though the pictures that were painted were very emotive, it was still very beautiful to see. Now, for camp number 1, I'd say that's pretty much it. You then get taken over to camp number 2, which is Auschwitz-Birkenau. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But from there, you just got to go across the road again. They've got toilet facilities, cafes, bookshops as well next door to the main entrance. You just go through there. You can get things to eat and drink there, but just go opposite. Walk straight down. There's like a little zebra crossing there. Just cross the road. There's a little bus stop there. It's the main bus stop that takes you to Krakow from Auschwitz Museum and backwards and forward. But it's the same bus stop with the free shuttle bus that will take you to Auschwitz-Birkenau. From there, it's about a 5-minute drive. It's 3 kilometers away. I'm not too sure if to do walks there, but private tour companies will probably take you there on the coaches from the museum over to Birkenau, and then from there you get dropped off literally outside the gate. You walk across, and then you've got the famous railways leading into the gates of death, or gates of hell, or there's so many words that have been used for describing the monumental gate that is at Auschwitz. Now, from there you can walk through. You'll see to the side, they'll have open some of the living areas, the barracks that they were living in. Obviously, this was opened up later into the 1940s, whereas Auschwitz first went into operation, I think, in the 1930s. And so the 1940s, it was a camp built for mass extermination, so it was known as a death camp, not a concentration camp, an extermination camp, whatever you want to call it. From there, you walk through, you're able to see the living areas, you're able to see barrack or camp number 1, where people are medically tested there. You ended up seeing, walking straight down, the camp, massive. The only difference between the two camps you'd see is the sheer size of it. But there's not much on display at Auschwitz-Birkenau. You walk down, you see the different living arrangements in the different barracks. You end up walking across. You can walk right up the railway that's leading into the gates. You'll be able to get some pictures there too, if that's what you'd like to get with terms of pictures. I'll get onto with people with pictures in a moment. But from there, you've got a little rail cart that's just letting you kind of see what it was like in Auschwitz, and then there's other areas with things that have been destroyed. There was obviously a desperate attempt between the periods of late 1944 into 1945 when they started to destroy the evidence. And then from there, you can lead to the other side of the camp, which lets you then see more barracks and more chimneys and everything that's been destroyed. Just at the end of it, just before we left into a gate on the side, we ended up walking around some of the living arrangements for people that would be getting medically examined in there. And there's a little odious stench that you get in there that I'm sure will probably stay with me in there. It's like the smell of cold wood and stone mixed in with damp, and that's kind of the smell that I get lingering, and that's the smell that will stay with me because it's my first time in Auschwitz. That will stay with me forever. Now from there we exited the camp, we ended up going home, but whilst we were there, the weather was cold, it was snowy. I thought it added to the emotive atmosphere that was around, very sombre, very emotional, very respectful from people there. There was no incidents I've read online of people with selfie sticks, people barging past, typical tourist things happening. None of that. Very respectful. People very emotional, anticipating what was happening in front of them. So that was very nice to see, in my opinion, and it was a lovely, nice tribute. I thought it's a little dark area of tourism, this, by the way, with Auschwitz. So I thought that people were so respectful, and people were very eager to learn, and people were very compassionate too. I thought, you know what? I thought in terms of it, on the Tuesday that we went on in December, people very respectful, so very decent. There was other things happening. People were taking pictures of the where people got hung. So they had the gallows there lined up with. They still got them in place. There's people in there taking pictures of the buildings. Not too got much of a problem with people taking picture of the architecture in there. It's something that will be able to stay with you forever. There were people taking family pictures in there and stuff. I'm not too sure that I'd go in there and recommend stuff like that, but when you've opened up to mass tourism, you're going to get things like that. But like I said, even though the people were doing this stuff, people were still very respectful. So for me, Yeah. So if you are ever in Krakow, if you're ever in Poland and you get a chance to go and visit Auschwitz, fully recommend that you do go and do that, because honestly, very sentimental, something that will stay with you forever. And honestly, I've never heard anyone go to Auschwitz and say, oh, I regret going there. So I think it's something that if you have the chance to go and visit and see, you should go and visit and see for yourself. And if you have been, or you end up going because of me and you've watched this video, let me know in the comments below what you thought. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree? Did you see things that I've missed off? Just let me know. Any information, any advice, just leave that in the comments below. But that's been the video. I hope you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you all again soon for the next video coming from Jason Sidlow, Travel Man.